Hey, what's up, yo? So it's Key. I'm back with another video for your clothing brand. So we're going to get straight into it, right? So I'm going to talk about the 3 things I wish I knew before jumping into the river and starting this clothing brand. So first thing I want to talk about is the more you want, the more it's going to cost you. So first, even with that statement there, it might be different between China and Pakistan, but I only use China. I only use Alibaba, so I can only give you my experience with China and Alibaba. So yeah, the more you want, the more it's going to cost. And what I mean by that is your modifications. See, me, I want it to be different. I want it to be unique, and also just personal preference. I like a shirt with a high mock neck collar. So not a regular collar shirt, a high mock neck collar. So I have a example here of my shirt here. This is one of my samples. So if you look at the collar is high. Look how thick that collar is. It's 5 to 6 centimeters. It's pretty high, right? So this right here alone, like, I reached out to multiple manufacturers. That's another thing. Never stick with one manufacturer. Always reach out to multiple manufacturers, because you don't know what they specialize in and what they can offer you price wise. So across the board, all manufacturers they were trying to add on another like $2 or $3 per piece just for the collar alone. You know what I'm saying? Another thing you have to worry about as well. I know you see a lot of brands who have the custom packaging for the labels, the inside labels. So this is screen printed on. It has my brand is higher level clothing. It has the size, the S for the small. So that's, if you want to have a woven label is this. Let's see if it'll focus. You can barely see it. My camera tripping. But this is a woven label. It's the label that's basically stitched on here, right? So this is actually cheaper than the screen printed label. You feel me? But I didn't want a woven label on my on the inside of the shirt, because it will be itchy. I didn't want that effect, you know. So for this, they'll tell you off rip, like, they have to make the screen per size. So if you're getting small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL or XXL, they have to make a screen per size for this. So this is going to cost extra for that modification there. And what you already saw, the modification, the woven label at the bottom, that's an extra price right there. You feel me? Packaging. If you want custom packaging the packages with your logo on it, or your social media or something of that sort on there, that costs extra as well. You know, sometimes they want to charge extra if you want a higher GSM. GSM is the weight and the thickness of your shirt. Some people charge extra if you want a very, very high GSM, or even the cotton type. The type of material can cost more as well. I know you see a lot of people like shirts that's like French terry. French terry is more expensive, you know, than 100% cotton. French terry is pretty expensive. Also, your printing area. Some manufacturers will charge, you know, a set price for printing in the front, but then it might be extra to get it printed on the back. And also with my other shirt that I have, I got the printing on the neck. You know, that costs extra as well. You feel me? So the printing areas will run up a check as well. Because some people want to have like me, I got the neck print, I got the front print, I got the back. You know, some people be wanting print on the sleeves and all that. The printing area's gonna run up a check. It's gonna add on. You know, before you know it, you have it just by your printing areas alone. You have a shirt where they're trying to charge you probably like $15, $16 a shirt, depending on the manufacturer. So that's one thing right there. Oh, tags. When it comes to like, if you want like custom tags already attached to the shirt, you know, that's going to cost you more money right there. You know, so be careful with your modifications. It also depends on your budget. It also depends on your budget and how many pieces you're starting off with. And I recommend you start off, if you can find a manufacturer that can get you going for like 50 to 60 pieces. That's where I suggest you start off at, because you don't know how much you're going to sell. So, but also, of course, the more you get, the cheaper it will be. So the pricing will drop if you order more pieces. But I don't recommend ordering more pieces when you first start off. So the second thing that I wish I knew before starting out is just the printing types. So the cheapest printing type is DTG. D as in dog, T as in Tom, G as in goat. DTG, direct to garment printing. So direct to garment printing is cheap because it's literally what it says, direct to garment. So they're just printing out basically a sheet, and they're putting it on your shirt or whatever, pressing it, boom, that's it. You can use that if you have stuff that has a lot of colors. You feel me? But it's not gonna last forever. So this, I'll give you the perfect example, right? So this shirt right here, right? Screen printing as well is another printing type. Screen printing, they make the screens, they put the ink on the screens, swipe it down, look it up, you'll see it. Screen printing is more expensive than DTG because screen printing can last a lifetime. Can really last a lifetime. Embroidery is another one that's very expensive because embroidery is almost similar to screen printing, where you have to get the master screens made first. So also when it comes to screen printing, what you have to know, because people are like, I want my stuff screen printed because it looks better, it lasts longer, it's not going to peel or whatnot. But you have to know that for screen printing, you're going to get charged per color. They have to make the screen for each color of your design. And it can be very, very expensive. You have to remember that. So I have this shirt right here, right? So the front, that's screen printed. It's not going anywhere. Looks good, right? But on the back, this is DTG. If I get closer, you see all those dots? All of those dots, right? So this design took me forever. There are way more colors in all of those dots. I had to go through multiple times and change the color of each dot because I was thinking it was going to look good being screen printed. And then I was told that each color is a different screen. So then I went in there and I changed it to the colors you see here, which is a limited amount of colors, but still a lot of colors. So at the end of the day, I had to do the back of this shirt DTG and the front of this shirt screen printed because it's expensive. Screen printing is very, very expensive. You know what I'm saying? Another example of DTG is this right here. This is a direct to garment printed shirt as well. And you see, another thing with DTG is it will pick up the colors. It's a cheaper way of printing, but if you have a design that has a lot of colors, bright colors, crazy colors, DTG will pick it up very well. You feel me? A lot of details as well. It will pick it up very, very well. But you also have to remember that it's being printed directly on the garment. So this shirt here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it had a black outline and it was printed on a black shirt. So you're going to see that black outline and it didn't really look the greatest, So that's another thing. With DTG, if you're printing white on white, that white is going to show up. And if that white is different than your white shirt, then it's going to, it's not going to look right. If you're printing black on black, that black will show up. Some people are thinking okay, I have a design that has a black outline, but it's going on a black shirt, so you're not going to see the black. No. DTG, you're going to see that black outline, and it's most likely not going to look great. Just letting you know. So, third thing I wish I knew before starting a clothing brand or even reaching out to a manufacturer is shipping and negotiating your shipping price. Boy, oh boy. Shipping is expensive. Shipping will probably be a fourth or maybe even a third of the price of your goods. For an example, I had one batch of my shirts. It was 60 shirts. It came out to probably like, it's had a lot of modifications. It came out to probably like, I say like $1,300, and probably like almost $300 of that was shipping. Was shipping all by itself. I say it probably came up to like 1,000, probably like 1,100, and probably like $300 of that was shipping, like just shipping alone. You know, and there are multiple ways. I chose express shipping as well. There are multiple ways you can do with shipping. Like you can have it by boat. You know, you get it shipped by boat. It probably wouldn't have been about $300. It'll probably been like 150, you know, 125. But once you get it by boat, then that's going to take you about a month for it to get to you. You know, for me, I wanted it to come quick, and I wanted it to come directly to my doorstep. I didn't want to get caught up in the shipping process where you have to go to like a facility and like go and get your package. I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted it to come directly to me, directly to my doorstep, and I wanted it to come within 7 to 10 days. So they most manufacturers offer you multiple options for shipping, like FedEx, UPS, DxKi, not DxKi, yeah, DxKi. There are a lot of different ways you can get stuff shipped to you. I don't think it's DxKi, but I'll put it on the screen. But there are a lot of ways you can get things shipped to you. Express shipping is always the best for me, but it's expensive. It's expensive, man. Shipping is expensive. You have to know how to negotiate with them, because what they will do, man, is they'll be like, you can be like, hey, like, can I get some woven labels, screen printed on the inside neck label, and they'll be like, yeah, and it might look like they're giving you a deal that's probably different than another manufacturer, but then they'll add that extra in on your shipping. You know, like your shipping will be like, you can be comparing two different manufacturers, asking them for the same things, both of them, and then one of them will be cheaper for the actual shirts and the modifications, but the shipping will be like crazy. And then the other manufacturer will be like probably more expensive with the shirts and stuff, but then the shipping will be less. You have to try to negotiate that shipping, man, because they make their profits through shipping as well. Just like you being a brand and selling, you know how you can, it probably really cost you probably $5 to ship a shirt, but on your Shopify, you're charging probably like $10, and you're taking that extra $5 in profits to go towards the profit of the actual shirt itself. They're doing the same thing. They're taxing in your shipping. So you can negotiate the shipping, man. Just straight up say, that's too high. Like straight up. I've done that plenty of times. I'll be like, why's the shipping so high? Like I've had one manufacturer, like, because this is a hat that I'm designing for my brand as well. I'm jumping into the hat game. You know what I'm saying? Got the roses here and whatnot. But a hat is clearly way less than a shirt, right? So I had one manufacturer that I was reaching out for hats. They was trying to charge me like $500 to ship 50 hats. I'm just like, why? Why is it $500 to ship 50 hats? Like, please let me know why. When I'm paying, 200, 250, around the 300 range to ship 60 heavyweight shirts. Like my shirts are heavyweight. Like GSM is like heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So how is one hat, weighing more than one heavyweight shirt? So you have to negotiate your shipping. And another thing, don't be afraid to express your concerns. Do not be afraid to express your worries. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to put a manufacturer on pause and go to the next. Do not rush the process. Like, one thing that really blocked me and hurt me when it came to like picking out my first manufacturers is like the lingo, the conversation, right? So I had one manufacturer who I really liked because as I was speaking to them, like, I'm new to everything. As I was speaking to them, they were explaining things to me. Like the shirt I just showed you with the neck, the design on the neck, they explained to me like what's that actually called. Like that shirt I showed you, that actually had a screen printed design on it, but there's another way you can get writing on the neck of the collar that's called jacquard. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. I'll put it on the screen. But that's a whole different process of printing. That's where it's printed. It's like in the material. The material creates the wording, you know? And like he was just like explaining things like that, explaining really what GSM meant to me, explaining different type of cottons to me, just explaining so much to me. And I really appreciated that. And I felt like I owed this person a service. I felt like because they were taking their time and explaining everything to me, now I have to order with them. And you don't. You don't. You know, you do not have to order with them. Like, don't feel like you owe these manufacturers anything, because they need business. They want your business. You can put them on hold and go somewhere else and look for a better deal. You can get, I got samples made from the same shirt from multiple manufacturers, because they're different. They're different. You don't owe these manufacturers anything. Do not rush the process. Take your time, man. Take your time. Like, take your time. Reach out to different manufacturers. Not just 2, not just 3. Like, maybe like 4. 4 is a good number. Reach out to them and just see what they can offer. And then take your top 2. Get a sample made from each one of them. And when you get your samples made, pay attention to how long it's taking them to make the sample. Pay attention to how long they said it will take for them to make the sample, and how long it takes them to finally ship it. And then once you receive it, break down everything. Like, when you put in your request for everything that you want, make sure you have that written down in the document. Don't have it just saved in your messaging history on Alibaba. Have it written down in a document, so once you get your sample, you go through everything check by check by check and make sure they did everything right. Because I had a manufacturer who made the shirt. Boy, that shirt was busting fly. They stepped when they made the shirt. The shirt looked good. Like, great printing, great quality, great everything. But the dimensions were wrong. I was going for a boxy fit. He just made me a big ass shirt. Dimensions were wrong. And that's actually a big thing with manufacturers that I came across. You can give them dimensions and they will not follow it. They will follow whatever dimensions they have for their own shirts that they have. So, yeah, man, just take your time, man. Take your time. Take your time. Do what you got to do with your research. Take your time. Take your time. That's the main thing I can tell y'all when starting a clothing brand, is take your time. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to push the threshold. Like, do not be afraid to negotiate. Because I'm going to tell you this one thing. Once you stop messaging them and you start reaching out to other manufacturers, they're going to reach back out to you. They're going to reach back out to you and be like, hey, what's going on? Can we proceed? Was there an issue? Like, how can we work this out? You know? And you tell them straight up, yeah, you charging too much. Like, straight up, it's too cost effective. I'm weighing my options right now, and I'll reach back out to you, and they'll tell you what they can do to lower the price. Like, hey, you want the high mock neck collar? How about I can keep the collar, but how about we change the woven labels to this process? You know what I'm saying? Or they'll try to work with you. So don't be afraid to put people on hold and put people on pause, while you do your research. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment of what you want me to talk about more or next about starting a clothing brand, the process, anything. I appreciate y'all.